welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things going on in the real estate industry, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success, guiding you to the top 10%. I'm your co-host, Curtis Haddock, alongside my other co-hosts, Brooke Massey and Casey Tutor. What's up, guys?
What's up?
That was a really, really good intro there, Curtis.
Thank you. I've been practicing. In the mirror. No,
Bumblebee. He always does his warm-ups.
Yeah, like when I clear my throat. Now that's actually officially in the podcast.
Yeah. We just lost 2 subscribers. I'm just kidding.
April's
I don't
going to
know
be
why I did that
proud.
during the podcast, because I usually do that before we record, but now everybody knows that's how I get my voice ready.
I just show up.
Yeah, well, you know.
Late. Everyone here shows up late.
I just show up and talk to people.
I know.
Which brings me to our topic today.
What are we talking about?
Networking.
I
what do you need
love
networking
it.
for?
Well, you got to show up and talk to people, like I said.
Oh, man, I don't like talking to people, though.
No one does.
Well,
That's the problem
I
with
know.
it.
People are a lot. I go home
I
and...
got to talk to people to do well in this industry?
Yeah, you
Are
kinda
you
have
sure?
to. Like in
Can
person, too.
In person?
In person.
Like I can't just text?
No.
I think, to me, networking it's like an art.
It's all of it.
It
too,
is.
And so that's, and you can't
Isn't that a book?
you can't really
Art of
teach that.
Networking?
Yeah, there's The Art of Living.
The Art of Networking.
Well, there's a book called The Art of Reflections of Living by,
Is that about networking?
oh man, I'll have to put it in the description.
No.
No,
One of the best networking books I've read.
Joseph Campbell. There it is.
Really the only, I think.
7 Levels of Communication.
No, that one is a really good one to start out, but an extended version of 7 Levels of Communication is called Never Eat Alone.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember who wrote it, but it's a really, really good one, and it just talks about how you can just place yourself in the
make sure
world
that you're-
around you, and
It tells
just,
you to pay for the lunch if you invite someone, right?
I don't remember. It's been a minute.
Well, if y'all are listening, pay for the lunch if you invite someone.
Did you
fair.
have an experience
Especially
where
if you're trying to sell them
where
something.
someone didn't?
Yeah, there's a 3-letter brokerage that tried to recruit me, and
Are you serious?
yeah, and whenever I got
There's
there,
a lot of 3-letter brokerages.
he didn't eat because he'd already had appointments that day, so I ate by myself. And then
But
whenever
he invited you to this lunch.
he invited me to lunch to talk about the brokerage, and then whenever she said how are we going to do the tab or whatever, and I was
They
like,
asked.
well, I'll take it. Yeah, he had a drink or whatever.
I'm
Did
appalled.
you pay for his drink?
Yeah, I mean, because that's dumb.
To split that? Wait a second.
He invited him.
What
I
happened?
understand. Yeah, so
What happened was he realized he wasn't going to get me, and so he decided that now I'm not worth the investment. So he clearly didn't understand relationship building.
no,
Yes.
and long term.
Yeah.
long term.
Because there's been plenty of times I've met people and I'm like, oh man, I am not getting that. I did not connect with them.
Right.
And then they freaking blow my phone up.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
not
so
all
my
of them,
rule,
or
my
they just
rule
at least
is
call.
if you invite someone to dinner. Now, I mean, there could be if you're talking about friends and stuff, and you guys have established relationship, and you're going to go dinner, and everyone's going to pay for their own.
but
That's,
everybody knows.
that's
Yeah,
different.
that's different.
But when
Right.
you're talking about business
Yeah,
and you
business.
invite someone, you pay for it. If they invite you, and then whenever they say, "Hey, who wants a tab?" and they say, "I'll take it," don't argue with them.
Yeah.
No.
Let them take it.
And
Yeah.
listen, if you're a man, you should always just do that anyways. That's natural, right? But
Well,
ladies,
well,
ladies,
not-
you got to be the man a little bit too in this situation.
But
If
this is
you're
not
out
dating.
there,
This
and,
is not dating. This is we're talking. I think
Yeah.
he's talking business. So
We're
well, that's what I'm saying. Ladies,
We're
you
not
need to step
swiping
up
right
and
here.
and pay for the tab too.
what'd you say?
We're not
Wait.
swiping right here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, ladies may not be used to doing that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so now
right.
it's kind of ladies, you got to man up and pay for the tab.
Yeah, man up, pay for the tab.
I mean, especially as a vendor, as you're trying to, if you're the one who's trying to sell something, and you're the one who made the call and to try to establish the relationship, if you invite somebody and then you don't, I just think that you probably just, I think in any case, I think that would probably ruin your chances. Even if you had a very small to slim chance to begin with,
Right.
I think that slim chance just went down to slimmer.
You know who paid for my dinner last night?
Ooh.
Me?
No.
I was like, what the hell?
You did not?
You didn't buy my dinner.
All the education and
my
coaching.
roofer. My roofer.
Oh, nice. With a gift card?
Yep.
Nice.
Pay for the whole thing too. It was awesome. And I thought about him the whole time. And then I thought, hey, my last roofer didn't take me to Bob's Steakhouse.
I like this roofer better.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I honestly do not care about that stuff. I want to be taken care of.
Oh yeah, I want the deal
And obviously,
closed.
as we're talking about networking, if you can do anything for me as my vendor, send me a deal. I'll earn my money.
Yeah.
But I want to earn a lot of it. So
Well-
Yeah, but most vendors, they're coming to us
doesn't
for
work
the
that way,
deals.
sure.
It doesn't work that way. And so so when it comes to networking, one thing that I learned that as realtors, we are the center of the industry.
Yep.
Like
Yes.
it starts and ends with us. That's why we are the ones being pursued, and we are the ones who get taken to lunch all the time. And until we started talking about this, like as a dating thing, I just realized we finally get to know what it feels like to be a woman sometimes, to get treated nicely. Like
That's right.
I actually have had a lender.
Hey, you guys want me to take you to lunch?
Sure,
I'll take you
anytime.
to Bob's Steaks House.
Yeah, baby.
I'm free today.
No, but I've actually had a lender. I've had a lender take me to a really nice place for lunch, and I was even honest and told the lender, "Listen, I'm already seeing somebody else.
Yes.
and I'm not planning to."
It makes them want you more.
Yes, but he was like, I'm totally fine with that. Yeah, let's
They're
go.
like,
Let's go.
They're loyal.
Yeah, and I was just
Meet
like,
them.
oh, sweet. So it's like, I know some realtors that will use vendors for their meals sometimes, but it's like
Well, you got to have
You
some
know?
business too to kind of
to keep it
back
going.
it up, or
Yes.
else, I mean,
Or else they wouldn't pursue you.
Yeah.
My termite guy, I mean, he was at a networking event, and he was a nice enough guy, but I was, I was invested in the one I was using, and he's like, and I told him, like, dude, you don't have to pay for my lunch. Like, I'm really loyal to my guy, and he's like, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, you never know, things change, and it did.
That's
And
somebody
they
who
do.
that
And
was
I
somebody
used
who
them.
understood
things
relationships.
always
And-
change.
Yeah. And so my point is that we're at the epicenter of the industry. So we are the ones who do the work to go find the clients before or during their house hunt or getting ready to put their house on the market. We usually are the ones who meet them first. And so we have to view ourselves as connectors. So part of networking is not just, getting face to face for yourself, but it's connecting other people to good, solid, reputable people. And so if you have a solid group of vendors and contractors and lenders and inspectors, roofer, I mean all of it, right? Then you want to be the one that people go to for a referral. Like you want your friends and your family to always call you, like, you know what? I need I would like to, my toilet's clogged up and I need a plumber. Something's wrong. I need to call Casey. Casey has a plumber. And then you are referring a plumber to whoever that is. But you have to make sure that plumber is because that's your name on the line.
It's just
Their
like,
work
it's just
is
like
your
a
name.
trusted lender.
Same exact thing.
Or
That
trusted
plumber
title
goes
company.
and does a good job, right? They are competitive with their pricing, whether they're the most, or the least or not. It doesn't matter as long as it's competitive and they're doing a quality good job, like for the trade off, and everything works out great. Well, now whoever you sent that plumber to, they now
Trust you more.
they now trust you, and they now think, every time they're going to the bathroom, they're thinking of Casey.
That's right.
They're thinking of Tudor Man,
That's right.
No pun intended.
And so, anyways, you got to be a connector.
Well-
Always be willing to,
was a big laugh.
but in order to connect, you got to have relationships, and the relationship can't always be like, how is it going to benefit me? How can I be the one to benefit others so that they always come to me?
Yes.
Because then when they're in the market to buy or sell, or those vendors, if I'm referring them, if they do find a client first, they're going to send them to you.
Two main things that I always say and tell me if you agree or disagree. To the core of being successful in real estate is go make relationships and be resourceful. If you can do those two things and figure things out, you're pretty much going to be successful in real estate. As long as you maintain those relationships, and those relationships end up being different resources as well. So I had one agent come to me, and he ended up not coming to my team or anything like that. He went to someone else because it was like his uncle's some friend or something like that, and he was starting his new brokerage, and he was going to be like one-on-one. Well, then I noticed he deleted me off Facebook completely. And so I was like, hey man, why'd you delete me on Facebook? Because I'm just that kind of person. And he explained to me that his broker told him to delete all real estate agents, anyone that had anything to do with real estate, off of his Facebook.
Wow.
So, and it should just solely be clients, which totally understand, right?
No,
I mean, that's
don't.
a tactic.
No, yeah, I don't understand that
However-
either.
It's not a good one.
However, I was like, that is the last thing you should do, because get out and meet everyone.
Well, there's an 87% chance that they will fail, which leads you to two different possibilities. A, they might reach out to you because they're failing, or they might let their license go and then really see what you and like what you've been doing and use you as a realtor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so I know a broker. I knew a broker owner who did that exact same thing. And now it wasn't everybody that was in real estate. It was mostly just realtors. And if she didn't have a good relationship with you or a close relationship with you, she cut everyone. She unfriended everybody that just like was a random ad because we're in real estate together. And the reason why she did it, I don't get it, and I'll explain why. The reason why, I guess I should say, I get their thinking behind it, but it's completely not in my opinion, it's not the correct way of thinking. We all know.
If you ran your social media correctly, you can run it like a CRM, and you would never like miss out on your clients.
I was gonna say too, like, and it's my opinion, but we all know that I have correct opinions here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys caught that.
Biased opinions. Is that what you said?
Correct opinions.
Oh,
correct
okay,
opinions.
Biased. Gotcha.
And so
Opinions are facts.
Yes, I have factual opinions here. But she did it because she's a big time advocate of advertising for leads. Okay, and going after buyer and seller leads. Well, she felt like that. She was paying for, for advertising her posts and things like that. And she was like, it's going to her. And I don't know if, how she was paying for it, but she was paying for it to like go to her network of people. She's like, well, I don't want to pay for my post to go to other realtors because they're not going to be clients. And so her rationale was get rid of the realtors so that more of my clients or people that aren't realtors see it. But I mean, you can do social media ads where you're targeting people that are not just your friend list.
Well, Facebook now literally has it. You can make it like a CRM. Like you can create different lists. So every time you add somebody, you put them in your friend list or your client list. Yeah. And so every time you share something, you share it to your clients list. And then that way your clients
can see it.
Yeah.
And you can tag them in it kind of like that. So
Chuck Wells taught me that. That's how he runs his social media.
Is that whenever everyone started like tagging everyone and highlight and all that kind of stuff?
That's a little bit different.
Gotcha. Well,
I need to highlight someone sometime.
I want to explain why I think that's completely not the correct way to think about doing this. Not simply because you can do that and you can run your ads to people outside of your list of friends, but you are running a business. She was a broker owner, and as a broker owner, her clientele is real estate agents.
Gotcha.
And everything that she does and she posts, those agents, you want them to see the success
your
that you're
leadership.
having. You want them to see the growth
How
that
many
you
agents did that person have?
They got 40, 50 agents at their brokerage. So it's not anything to sneeze at. I mean, she's very she has a mixed reputation here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who it is after.
I know who it is.
Okay. Well, but to me, it's like, man, you want to grow a business. You want to attract these agents to whether it's your company or to your personal business, and so you want to be friends with other real estate agents, because that's the only way to leverage as you grow a real estate business. Unless you literally just want to sell real estate for the rest of your career and until you've earned enough to where you've invested it into other types of businesses that earn you income to stop you from producing.
Well, most broker owners are producer mindsets anyways, and if they get team members, great. Or there's not really a good plan for them. I mean, Brooke, how many people do you have on your team?
Well, everything 99.
That's a lot of people, for one agent to have brought in a short amount of time, when you have all these other brokerages who are trying to build and they never get anywhere.
Yep.
That's because she's in a system that empowers her people to build a business as well, right? And I also had a meeting with a broker owner, and the meeting was centered around wanting to possibly merge our companies and really have their company merge with ours, or come into our system. And the reason why she couldn't come around to do it was because she felt like, she's like, I don't want my, I'm not a recruiting brokerage. I'm not a recruiter, is what she said to me. And I told her, I said, what do you mean you're not? You have
She doesn't
40,
have to be.
You are 40. Well, my point was that you have 40 agents on your brokerage. How did they get there? You had to recruit them or attract them somehow, some way. Don't tell me that you're not a recruiter. And also, by saying that you don't want the facade of your agents recruiting either. It's that a lot of these broker owners don't want to give up some of their revenue to give to their people on their team so that they can build a business for themselves too. They want to keep it for themselves, which I totally respect. I understand that's a business plan that you're more than welcome to have. The only problem is that when you train people up to be like you and to get to your level, the only way they can do that is to leave and start their own thing and become a competitor. Well, the very next day, she posted on social media about, hey, my brokerage is this, and this. If you guys are looking for a new home, or want to find a great brokerage, I'd love to talk to you.
And then you commented and said, "Stop recruiting." Ew.
Right. No, I screenshot it and I sent a message to her. And I said, "Not a recruiter, huh?"
Yeah.
Question mark. And she laughed, and it was funny, but it was almost one of those things where it's like, come on, you recruit, you do, you're a broker owner. That's how you grow your business. And you just don't want your agents you just don't want to empower them to have that same opportunity, is what it came down to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really everything you just said. I learned that, and probably the best thing that I did when I first went full time, I guess I should say, into real estate was I networked I networked like crazy. I just met everyone, as many people as I possibly could. New agents, experienced agents, top producing agents. We met multimillionaires and billionaires, and I just learned everything possible about the real estate industry, lenders, inspectors, whoever. And
because of that, we not only is it because you're not going to recruit everyone, you're not going to be able to attract everyone at that moment, but we learned so much from them, and we were able to take the things that we learned that we may not have even thought of or even do in our own brokerage, and like we're able to implement it and make ourselves better and to grow. Those meetings are so powerful.
Oh, and like I learned so much, and now I can go talk to people that have even been doing this for 10, 20 years, and I can break down their business. I have
Better
the
than they
knowledge.
can.
Yes, 100%. So just the power of networking in general, and just learning. Just go out there, and you just never endless knowledge, and then you just never know who you're going to meet, the opportunities, resources, so much.
What's the best way to the people out here that are listening? Like, yeah, I if they're saying, how
do you go meet a multi-billionaire?
I get networking. I agree with what you guys are saying, but
it's not working.
But what the heck do I do? Like, how do I get in front of these people? How do I network? You know, I know a lot of people that will say, well, join the Chamber of Commerce and join these groups and things. And it's
I did do that at the beginning, but it wasn't as beneficial.
I mean, I was going to say, did any net positive business come from the chamber?
I did almost recruit somebody, and I did. Well, I did get another recruit from someone, and we kind of went there together. Because I really learned like just about, I guess, the chamber and understanding like how the city works and stuff. I feel like that's important.
Well, so my thing is that if that's what you want to do, then yeah. Then go join and learn, but don't go there expecting you're going to get referral after referral, because everyone
You'll meet
there,
every other realtor there.
Well, not just every other realtor, but everyone there is looking for a referral for them.
Yes.
So they're coming to you for a referral, and so it's just like this big giant. I won't say the word I'm thinking of a place where everyone's just wanting referrals. And that's a really hard place to get referrals. I mean,
disappointment.
It's a good place to go and find resources.
And well, yeah, and to learn about and to build your vendors and things like that. But I also struggle. It depends on if I meet a vendor at a place like that, then I need to do my due diligence on them, because if they're needing referrals from you, you know, then how good are they?
I guess I went by the crowd. So my chamber I went to, we all went in a giant freaking circle, and we all had been like, "Hey, I'm Brooke Massey with Brooks Realty," and it was like really awkward. So you could tell who was like at least well sought after based on the cheers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
I've recently joined a board, and it's just super lame. Like it's. I sit there and I wonder, like, how many boards are going on, like, at this very moment across the United States, where there's just people sitting here nodding their heads, pretending like they care about something, and it's just a big waste of time. Like, how many meetings are happening right now?
I thought that too when I first started.
Yeah, I think that there's people that have grown into it's not that for them.
Yeah, the board that I'm on, it's like, they only want you there to make you feel like you have some type of power or say, but they already have an agenda, and they just want you to shake your head, and they want to be able to say no.
You should come be on my committee then, and my board.
I'm done.
Because mine is like a second and a third job.
But that's why. So I don't want that either. I'd rather just sit there and nod. But
I'm like, oh my gosh.
But I think so. That's why I said that networking is an art, because open houses and doing for sale by owners and expireds, of course, there's some finesse and skills that go into that, but it's more technical.
Yep.
It's more ABC. This is how you approach it. This is how you do it.
And you're building a real estate network. People they're meeting you for the first time as a realtor, and so they know you as the real estate expert.
And that's that's more of a 9-to-5 job, because you're going to see them whenever. Now your networking never ends. It's all the time. It's 24/7. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. It's at the store. It's at the mall. It's when you're on vacation. Like, you just don't know who you're gonna meet. And that's it.
So how would you tell somebody? Because I mean, what you mentioned for the real estate side, like, those are great ways to build a network within real estate. But when we think of networking, we are thinking about our sphere of influence. You hear SOI all the time. What is the best way to network with my sphere, what actions can I take? What do I do? What do I say? Do I text? What do I do?
Well, I think first of all, how do you present yourself when you walk in a room? And then how do you answer the phone?
Okay, well, what room and how do I get to that room? That's where I'm getting at.
Well, before you even think about going into a room, you have to have the mindset of, I have to be a likable, enjoyable person. Because I mean,
Are you talking about walking into a networking event?
no, I'm talking about walking into anywhere.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so if like, even if you come into the office today and you're like, hey, drag.
Yes.
Who cares? Like, no one cares about you now. Or I've called like people who want to
Make yourself
join,
approachable.
They want to join the company, and I call them and I'm like, hey man, so and so referred me to, and they're like, who is this? And it's like, wait, you want to get into real estate and you're talking to me that way? Like, you can't do that, because when you walk in the room, people have to go, oh, there's Casey. Or is Casey coming to the party tonight? Because if he doesn't, it sure will be boring. Like, that's what you want. You want people to want you to be around and show up. And because, I mean, if I'm at the store, I'm going to go talk to anybody. If I went to kindergarten with you and I haven't seen you since then,
Yeah.
and I recognize you, I'm going to go talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, why
Yeah,
not?
I think you have to get over being uncomfortable
I was gonna
and just
say-
and get over like your fear of like
And be
just
approachable.
sharing people about like who you are and what you do.
So how I just started out networking with people, I use social media, right? As soon as you become a realtor, as soon as like, I swear those like everybody in real estate, like they get a notification as soon as you change your job title to real estate agent, then your freaking friend requests just get flooded. And it's most of the time it's roofers, lenders, title people, right? It's all, again, we're the epicenter of it. Epicenter? Whatever.
Sure.
Epicenter.
Yeah, that's it.
Make up my own words. So it's actually really easy to get an appointment. So I really just kind of just messaged them, or they reached out to me and they were like, you want to go to coffee? And I said vice versa. And it was literally that simple. And so got over the kind of the awkwardness is you're in front of somebody for an hour, right? You're getting coffee. They say coffee is like easier than lunch because you can end it whenever if it gets too awkward. But if you're in front of somebody, now what do you have to do if you're sitting in front of somebody? You
have
can
to
either just sip
talk.
your coffee or you got to talk, right? So
Yeah, I'd say networking too is like, if you want to make it easy on yourself, have a list of questions, which we talk about. Frog, family, recreation, occupation, goals.
Yes.
Just talk, ask them questions. Like, you don't have to know everything that you need to say.
You know, you guys have heard me say this, but if you want to tell somebody what you do for a living, then all you got to do is ask them what they do for a living.
Yeah.
And usually questions are reciprocated. If the question is not reciprocated, it's not awkward to then talk about what you do for a living, because after they share and tell you what they do, oh, that's so cool. Well, I do this, this, and this.
what do you do?
You know? And so, that's always a good go-to, but the FROG acronym is always a good go-to when you're just striking up conversation with people when you're at, whether it's a networking event. I always say too that, especially for like networking events, when you are at a place where people are expecting to like learn about your business, you got to have an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Your elevator pitch is, it's basically you need to be able to tell somebody what you do, what you value, and what you're looking for, and the amount of time it takes you to ride an elevator to the floor you're going to with somebody, right? So typically 30 seconds or less, all right?
And don't just be like, I'm Brooke, I'm looking for clients, and
I'm in real estate.
I'm in real estate.
Yeah,
Thanks.
well, and that's like what Curtis was talking about earlier. Like, you have to be in it for what those people need, not for what you need.
Yep.
And so if you're sitting there doing a networking conversation, or you just randomly met someone in public, like, just talking about yourself or thinking in your head like, oh, I can't wait for this conversation to end so I can go do what I was going to go do.
Yeah.
Like, that's when people will fail, because they're too into themselves. The whole picture has to be looking outward.
Do you guys have an elevator pitch that you typically use?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one. I haven't had to use it in a long time.
Oh, what do you say?
Well, that's why I preface I haven't used it in a long time. I have it written down. I'd have to go look at it. I have it written down. But mine
What do you do for a living, sir? Hold on.
Mine is centered around
We keep Curtis locked up, by the way.
Yeah, real estate. Mine is centered around wanting real estate agents, and around like the value we provide them and how we want to, basically our mission statement and saying like if you want to help me out, like the best thing you can do. Yeah, clients are great, but the best thing you can do is send me agents because then I have a whole sphere, a whole nother sphere of influence in my downline.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're
So it's not just
providing
me.
jobs or providing opportunity.
It's not just me selling, it's now someone else that's selling, and now we can do twice as much. And so my advice to people when they're trying to network and they're new into this industry is go read the book Never Eat Alone, I think, right? I think go and have whether it's never eat alone or go have coffee every day. I don't know. Like go set a meeting with somebody every single day. Whether it doesn't and again, the goal is to not just set a meeting with just a client, right? Because that's where you're going to get stuck because everyone is in the mindset of how do I get clients? What can I do to get a client? It's a waste of time for me to go meet with a contractor because they're not going to buy or sell a house. And the mindset is no, they're going to be the ones that could possibly refer you. However, we know that since we know vendors don't refer business and we're the ones who refer it to them, okay, you're going and meeting these vendors so that you can be a connector to everyone who asks for a referral or who needs something. You now have a list of people that you can connect. They do a good job for you. And now they are always going back to you again. I already said this before, for real estate and or they're referring you for real estate. So number one is go sit down, go call and schedule meetings and sit down and meet with as many people as possible. Now, if everyone, realtors, vendors, your own sphere, your family,
Just don't
your
go to
friends.
Coffee with a lender every single day this week.
Well, you'll
right?
make friends.
Diversify
You'll make
it, but
friends as
meet
well.
as many
Right.
people as you diversely can.
That would be
Yeah.
better, but it's even having a different lender every day this week is better than doing nothing.
Hey, there's different kinds of
And-
lenders and
'Cause you're
different kinds of
practicing
programs.
talking.
You're,
and
you're
listening.
getting practice, you're meeting people, and you're going to connect with lenders, and you might learn, oh, this lender can do this, and this lender can't, but they can do
Right.
this. And so now I have
Now you're
options.
educating yourself.
And now I have an even more,
could save you a deal.
more powerful
Yeah.
like repertoire of a team that I can send to people. And I always tell people networking and your sphere of influence. And again, I did say have lunch even with your family. All right, like go to lunch with your family and talk about what you're doing in real estate. Your family members have jobs. They have coworkers. They have their own friends, right? And when you are always making sure that people know what you do, and you have to stay top of mind. So social media is another one. You've got to talk real estate on social media. You got to mix in personal with social media because you still got to be human. Don't just do real estate, because then people will stop following you and they'll stop looking at your stuff. But
Right. We're going to get into that too here in a second.
are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
Oh
I could
gosh,
get ahead here.
I feel like we're
Well,
getting in trouble.
No.
Can we just move on
what
to
the
that?
heck? What the
No,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Finish
I'm
your
just
thought.
kidding.
Well, no, I mean, my thought was just basically when it comes to networking is a long-term play. Don't go into it thinking that if I schedule this meeting today, I'm
Yep.
going to walk out with a client.
That's right.
It's long term, and I think that's why people struggle with real estate is the long term aspect of it. The work we do today pays us in 90 days. Most of the time, we are used to the work we do today paid us for the hours we worked that day, and we're going to get paid in a 2-week time span in most cases. Well,
Just have the mindset of just work every day,
Yeah,
right?
be
Don't.
consistent.
I mean, I say this with a grain of salt, right? Don't worry about when your next paycheck is. I mean, once you get to that point, right? Worry about it at first for sure. But if you're doing everything and doing the activities and just constantly meeting people every single day and you have that mindset, and I look at my calendar and I know that my calendar and my schedule is full, I know I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't be afraid to ask for business because you could talk real estate all the time and nobody ever you don't ever get anything because you aren't being direct enough about you're there for business.
Yeah, don't be friend
People
zoned.
subconsciously want a closer. They want someone
Yes.
who can close a deal, and confidence will come into that. And I was going to say too, when it comes to like recruiting, we were talking about that just a second ago. It's like it gets like a bad look, in the industry. But I think if you're getting into this industry, or you want to build a team, you need to forget about that because it's just there's haters everywhere, and there are bad recruiters. There are people who they don't know how to. It's like in a relationship, they don't know how to communicate their feelings, and so they're saying things like, you hate your brokerage, don't you? Come on over. Or do you want to make the most out of your commissions? Come on over. And it's like, that's what people are seeing that they hate. But when I said, when you walk in a room, do people want to see, are they glad that you came in?
What value do you
can
bring?
bring that
Yeah,
into recruiting.
It's just like a for sale by owner, right? They're getting blown up with us realtors calling and saying that they need to list it, right? Well, what is that? The for sale by owner gets all upset and stuff like that. It's no different.
Yeah. But
It's
then there
just
might
reversed.
be one little approach that someone takes. They're like, I really appreciate your style. I think I'm going to list with you.
Yeah.
And who knows what that's going to be or who that person is.
Yeah.
And that all sounds good, but remember, more times than not, they're not going to like your style, and they're going to tell you no,
often than not.
and more often than not. So you can't give up, but you
that's
got to
the
be
whole-
confident, and you got to be able to
Yeah.
ask for the business.
That's what
or
people
at
don't
least
think
tell them
about.
you want the business.
Yeah, that's what people don't think about is like, it's more often than not.
That means you got to have a strong mindset, right?
Yeah, because you hear numbers, right? Like, oh, you can convert 3 out of 10. Oh, I can do that all day, right? I'll do the math, 30. That's 9 people, 9 sales. But then you don't think about how it actually makes you feel all 7 times
That they said no
that
to
they
you.
said no to you.
When
And
you
then
felt like you had a good connection,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're heartbroken. Like,
and that's why it's a lifestyle, because you have to learn how to internalize that and
Yeah.
cope with that. And those are the things that you think about in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you were excited that because you went home the day before and told your spouse or your kids like, "Oh man, I had a good day. I had a great meeting with somebody." And then the next day they say, "I went with somebody else," and now you're going home with a different attitude. And it's like, well, just don't get tunnel vision on the one. That's why whenever you hear people say fill your pipeline, there's a reason for it. You got to fill your pipeline because more times than not, people are going to turn you away and they're going to go with somebody else. And it's not always personal. It could just be because somebody undercut the commission, right? That doesn't mean that, and don't overreact to that either. Like if somebody chooses you, like here's what I struggle with. And this, I know we're talking about networking. I'm just going to say this, but if somebody...
Tangent.
Yeah, here's a tangent for you guys. If somebody tells you, yeah, I went with another agent because they had a presentation when they came over. I went with another agent because they said they would do it for 1%. Don't overreact and think that that's how you're going to like that. You have to do that every time because every customer thinks that way. Mm-hmm. It was just that one customer, and they might just be giving you that as an excuse so that you feel like there's a reason, right? It could be any number of things as to why they chose an agent.
How'd you feel if your presentation lost you the listing?
Right.
Because you said something stupid in it or didn't clarify something. Oh, this is my like.
Then you would think, every time, well, I'll never do a presentation. That's how people think.
Right.
No, you got to have a confident approach and just know.
You have to have results to
Well,
be able
you
to
need to
read and whether or not if
you
it's
have
good
to
or bad. Not
you have
one.
to average your results.
Yeah, if you went
in
to
your
5
activities.
and you lost 1 because of that, that doesn't mean that you need a presentation.
That means
all
keep
the time.
doing what you did.
If you did, freaking 50 and you still probably only have one.
You have
That's
to
still not a difference.
Know who you are and know what your strengths are. And if a presentation makes you confident, because if you can't be confident unless you have a presentation, then bring a presentation.
Yes.
But if that holds you back, or if you dread having to print something out every time and it's just gonna cause you to not want to do these points, then don't bring a presentation. But you have to go in with a strong positive mindset that you are their agent, not maybe are going to be their agent. You go into every appointment thinking I'm their real estate agent, and you act that way. Now, they might feel otherwise and tell you otherwise, and if they do, okay, well, now you're not their agent, but you got to believe that you are, or else you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, and that just quickly reminded me, like, something I started doing, presentations you have to be careful of, because I like to go with the flow of things and kind of feel them out and see where they're at.
Chameleon a
I
little
could
bit.
list a house I could do an appointment in 10 minutes. If me and that other person is that confident and we want to go and we've already talked about the price, like, I don't need to sit there and do a whole thing.
No, you ask the right questions and they know.
And
that
I've
you
learned
know.
there's things that, like, if someone's pressing me on commission, what I charge, I tell them, like, hey, we'll go over that at the end, because why am I going to tell you how cheap I'll do it for you when you don't even know what I'm going to do for you yet?
Yes.
Right? Like, I want to explain my position and what I'm going to do for you. So then when we talk about the commission, you're going to understand why I'm charging what I charge before we just jump into that, because people always have the dumbest questions. And as an agent, you need to understand that those questions are coming and know how to answer them properly. And especially when you're recruiting.
But you don't have to get the answers to every question before you go on these appointments.
Right.
Learn them through your experience.
Or you'll say something dumb and be like, shoot, I need a better answer for that for the next time.
Yeah, or don't guess and say,
Or that dumb answer works.
Let me get, it could.
You don't know.
Sometimes it does.
Fake it till you make it is a real thing.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, these are people's largest assets that they're purchasing. So when in doubt, tell them, hey, you know what? I need to go get with my mentor. It is not a bad thing to say that you have a mentor, or that you need to go talk to the broker, or that you're new.
Yeah, because most of the time they don't know. That's why they're
Let's talk
asking you the
about
question.
a property boundary, right? You're at an open house and someone comes in, hey, where's the property line? I don't know. There's like 15 acres out there.
Yeah.
There's some rebar here and there, and it's like, well, how about, here's networking. Like, hey, I'm not sure exactly where that line is. How about I grab your phone number and I'll find out and I'll let you know.
Boom.
Networking, done. But I wanted to talk about recruiting, the networking part of that. The question I always get where I think people think that it's just going to work for them is marketing. They go, do you have their question is, do you have a marketing department? And so my new rebuttal to that is, first of all, how are you going to market yourself?
Do you have a market?
Because if you don't have an answer on how you're going to market yourself, I got really good advice one time. It's like, from a musician, it's like, no one is going to care about you and your business the way you do, and no one knows you the way you do.
Nor they're going to build it.
And they're not going to build it because they don't care. Even if you pay them good money, it's only going to go so far, and they can't tell your story. Like your little post here and there, that's what's capturing your audience.
Free marketing is networking.
Yeah, so it's like, that's the question.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Free marketing is networking.
You go out there and network, then people learn you, and then that markets yourself, and then people
okay.
talk
So
about you, and then word of mouth.
Is marketing.
Is free marketing.
Yes.
Reverse that. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. When you're networking, it's free marketing. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I say?
You
Reverse?
said free marketing is networking. And he's talking. It made me think so you're saying that people should provide a marketing department or something is how. I said it.
Someone asked me that last week, and I said, we have a Canva account, like. There's templates on there.
There are things that we could do better in that regard. I personally think, however, it still comes down to the individual taking advantage of that.
Let me ask you this
and
question,
using
Curtis. How many people that have left us because they weren't happy with XYZ, whatever the real reason is, and they tell us they're leaving us because they're going to go to a company that has excellent and superb and well thought out marketing? How much marketing do you see from those people that left for that?
One person in particular, I see some, but it goes beyond that. We've had people leave us for XYZ for marketing. I want an office closer to my place. Leads. Mm-hmm. I want this and that. Whatever it's most of the time. We already know it's an excuse they tell themselves as to why it's not working, and they think because of what this company or person sold me on, that's what's going to make the difference for me. But they go to those places and nothing changes. Like, okay, well, okay, great. Yeah, you have an office closer to your home, but you're still not doing the work.
Yeah.
So what is changing about it? Like you're saying, having an office closer is going to all of a sudden motivate you to pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And motivate you to network. That's just not how.
Well,
it
then
is.
you have the agents that they don't want to be a part of a big brokerage because ew. And you're just like, where does that even come from? Now, there are big and small brokerages that are shady. And just because they're big doesn't mean that they're shady. If you belong to a big brokerage, or even like ours, around 200 agents, it's like there's so much power in that, because so for my guitar playing, if I was around 20 or 30 guitar players every day, what's going to happen? I'm going to get really good, and I'm going to see someone over here playing that and be like, oh, wow, I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even do it, but I saw it, and I'm going to take it back to my repertoire.
Yeah.
And it's just so much more powerful that way.
So much more powerful, and
that's
I was
networking.
going to say, it's how, like, who are you hanging around? Who are you getting advice from?
Yeah.
Who are you
Who are you
learning from?
networking with?
People
Yeah.
who that do it.
Who's
but
your tribe?
Yeah, and when I said that there are some things that we can do better when it comes to marketing, like for agents, it's like it's more so that like because what we do everything that we do is about teaching people how to go do it for themselves. Mm-hmm. Go build a strong foundation and go build it for yourself, because we can't do it for everyone. We can't do it. We can't do it for. We're not going to be able to build it for them, but we can give them the tools and the resources necessary. It's no different than providing like a CRM, right? Mm-hmm. Like people when we first got started, we didn't have a CRM, and people did not join us because of that, right? And so it's like, okay, we can do better when it comes to a CRM. So now we have a CRM with your own professional website. But if they don't use it and get out of it what it's intended for, it's not going to do anything for them.
And I would say most of the people that ask those questions when you're interviewing them, they're not going to be the people that are going to take advantage of it, even if you did it for them.
Because at the end of the day, and I kind of want to make a video about this. I've seen so many lead videos lately. Now, here's where the lead
it's hammered.
Here's where the new lead videos have gone. Like, they're trying to be creative, and now I see like multiple ones doing the same thing, and they're like, "Are you just so tired of lead companies making you pay thousands of dollars for recycled leads and garbage leads and people that don't answer their phone?" And they're like, "Well, let me tell you, our leads aren't that. We're going to sell you good leads
without lifting a finger."
Right. All you're going to have to do is you don't have to do anything, but we're going to send you a qualified lead for you to close, and we guarantee this. And I've seen multiple lead services advertising videos like that.
$100 a month.
Right. But and then how much do you charge? Well, we also charge thousands of dollars, and well, do you have to call the leads, right? Well, yeah. Are they going to answer always? No. You still have to follow up, and you still got to do work.
It's a lead.
I don't want to be like, "Hey, when's my appointment?"
There's no secret.
Where's my listing appointment?
There's no secret sauce here when it comes to this kind of thing, and so
relationships and resourceful.
Yes, it all boils back to just getting in front of people and building a relationship and building rapport with them. But I want to do a video.
A good supplement.
Yeah, it's a
cherry
when
on
it comes,
top.
if you do networking right, you'll get leads from it. And but what I was getting at is I want to do a video that it's almost like a parody video where we make fun of that, and it's like, well, hey guys, do you want to not make calls and get leads on command, but also be on a 98% split and not have to pay for anything? And,
I'll even show your clients' houses for you.
Yeah, we'll do, and all you got to do is
sign me up.
Yeah, all you have to do is get out of bed and turn on the TV and do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Watch Ninja Turtles.
We'll send everything to you, but not only are we going to send everything to you
for a limited time,
we will do the work for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to make a crazy ass
That'd be
video
hilarious.
like that, but then at the very end say, it doesn't exist, guys. Like, listen, you guys want to learn how to sell real estate? Guess what? It takes hard work. you got to do this, you got to do that. Just basically be real about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And say, if you're interested in that, call our coaching services.
Yeah.
Because we will tell you what you need to do and how you need to do it. And we'll tell you the truth. I'm not going to sell you some gimmick where you're going to close 6 deals a month on leads where you don't have to do work. No. It's not easy. You gotta, anything that you do that's worthwhile takes hard work and takes discipline. So I feel like it'd be a fun video we could make.
I like it. Did you guys remember? I think it was something about Mary whenever they pick up the hitchhiker.
Something. Oh,
You remember that?
I know that movie.
So
it's been a long time.
They're in there and he goes, the hitchhiker's like, hey guys, I have an idea. And they're like, what is it? And he's like, you guys know that like 8-minute abs video? They're like, yeah. And he's like,
Let's do 5-minute abs.
yeah, he goes, I'm going to do one that's 7-minute abs. And they're like, they're like, well, he's like, why would you need 8-minute ab video when you could do it in 7 minutes? It's like,
yeah, it's the same concept.
then he ends up being a murderer. And,
You save 356 minutes a year.
right.
And not only can you do it in 7 minutes, but we're going to make it cheaper too.
Yeah.
You know, that's just
Get
the
time
way-
and money back.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Some of these companies that are coming in and offering the world to people and like they're basically like buying agents through these high splits and all these things that don't actually help you sell houses. Those a lot of them are going to be fly by night because it's just not feasible for something to be sustained at that kind of level.
If
so you got to
can
be
make
careful
it,
not to react to things.
Yeah, and if you can go make that work and make the money you want to make and take advantage of that when you
Great.
can,
Yeah,
go do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's not a right or wrong way. It's just we know what the failure rate is 87% within the 5 years or 2 years, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that if you felt like real estate was for you and you saw the opportunity and you think you'll enjoy it, like give yourself the best shot.
That's all we want. Yeah.
Go to the place that you think will actually support you. So like maybe instead of like saying, do you have a marketing department or what's your commission split? Before you've ever even sold a house, maybe you should consider asking the person you're talking to, how do I actually do this thing? Like, how do you actually survive month to month? And how did you get your start? What were your biggest pitfalls? What made it easier? I mean, no one ever asks those questions, and I don't blame them. They don't know, right? They just think most people think they're gonna get their license, and all of a sudden everyone's gonna call them because they're awesome.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way.
No. Weirdest transition ever.
Yeah, I say go find a group of people that you can connect with and learn from
And
do those things with.
And I always say, like, ask the dumb questions, because if you go ahead and
Except
question
for what
anything,
the commission split is.
huh?
I said except for that question.
No, I mean that's a question that you can
Yeah.
ask. I mean,
Yeah.
I think people
Well,
ought
I
to
mean,
know,
like-
but don't base it off of.
Well, and don't
just-
run your whole appointment on it
Well,
either.
and understand what that question means when you ask it.
Yes.
Oh, you offer 100%. Okay. Understand what it means when they say that that's what they offer.
I meant like emotionally and going throughout the process and talking to clients. So, because I think that's really the hardest part. And I don't think anyone can really teach, no training can teach that. No coach or mentor can literally tell every single person that, because every single person handles things differently. So
Takes experience.
it's up to you to ask those questions. But I always say, if there's any doubt inside of you and you think it's a dumb, silly question, ask me, because it's probably not. And it's much better to understand that from the get-go so you can move forward.
Totally.
Totally. Rad.
I want to apologize to anyone who is watching this podcast, like watching it, not just listening to it, because I've been like sleeping some of it.
What?
Like my eyes have just
I'm impressed.
closed as I listen and like talk,
Talking while he's sleeping.
Well,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Well,
had a long night last night. We'll just say that.
the last thing, most important, I think we talk about
That
it
was my way
enough,
of saying, let's
is-
wrap this up.
oh no, is it's just follow up, right? Anything we do, anybody we meet, no matter what we're doing, recruiting, networking, you're at a board meeting, whatever, if you meet somebody, follow up with them.
Yeah, but
no
you're in
matter
it for the
what,
long
social
haul.
Why do you
media.
think it's so hard for people to follow up?
Because they don't see the value in it.
It's a relationship.
It's
You
not-
got to make
it's
the
not,
relationship.
They hear it from
Sure.
every producer, every successful agent says the fortunes in the follow up.
But they're sold. You can do it
On the
now.
easy way, on the easy
on-
way.
With buying
Yeah.
the leads, they're sold on that.
There's a way to do it. I
Do you think
know I
people
can
kind of
make
get
it work.
stuck on trying to convert people? And then they get so stuck on that and they're trying to master that and figure it out. And then they start converting people and then they just completely forget about.
They want immediate gratification. That's what we all want. And so
They
unless
think if you go to the appointment, then that's it. But really,
that was your chance.
it's the phone calls
was the start.
afterwards.
Yeah, and
That's your biggest opportunity.
right. Well, that's where you're going to prove yourself.
Yep.
And I think the only people who truly understand that, that's why new agents come in and ask really dumb questions, because they've not been through all that. Where we have followed up with people for 2 years and finally like, hey, we were just thinking about you. Mm-hmm. Thanks for following up for so long.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I was
you're
just thinking
welcome.
about switching brokerages.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just thinking about buying a house. Didn't that happen to you? You were on Facebook the other day and you just messaged someone randomly and they were like, hey, actually, I need to sell my
That
house.
just happened to Angie in that text we got yesterday. Someone from Florida is buying a house here.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Because of social media.
Yep. Boom. There you go.
Jealous.
All right,
Just
guys.
kidding.
Well, did we want to do? I don't have a would you rather.
I didn't think of one either, but I have one.
Okay.
Brooke's gonna love this one.
Oh,
She
gosh.
can't. No, I mean she's not even allowed to play.
She can
actually,
pick
just
this.
I
ask me.
asked,
She'll be able to. I said this. She'll be able to pick one this time.
So Casey got mad because on social media I put dream backyard or dream kitchen.
And
And then she said both.
And I said, I'm going to have an
gosh,
outdoor
Brooke.
kitchen in my dream backyard.
And then I was like, you can't do that. She's like, shut up. Yes, I
That's
can. I'm like,
totally
okay,
different.
fine.
I chose one.
I remember a few episodes when I made fun
You
of you
didn't
for like
choose.
not being able to choose. You're like, no, I don't choose,
manipulated.
and you just can't choose.
You manipulated.
It's a game. It's just a game.
Maybe I'm just spoiled, and I'm like, but I want both.
Whenever we
In real life, Brooke, you can have
When
both.
when
in
I-
the game, I want you to play the game.
Yeah.
I know, but like I just
and when we're done with the podcast,
You realize that by
you don't have to think about it anymore.
Well, no, I think that Brooke goes. I think you must have like a superstition or something, because by saying it in the
Oh,
game,
no,
it doesn't
not
mean
that.
you're manifesting that's what's going to happen in real life.
That's a good thought in theory, but no, that's not true. I think I think way too deep about both things, and then it like makes it impossible to.
Okay,
I know,
choose.
but you just have to
Okay.
pick, and then nothing's bad's
Let's
going to happen.
see if she can do
I don't
it.
think anything bad will happen. I'm just
okay.
like, oh, but I might like this one too.
Okay, this is going to be
You can go first, Brooke.
this is going to be a really dumb one. Would you rather be on Love Is Blind
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
or Married at First Sight?
Or what?
Married at First Sight.
Shoot, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, so
Which one should I be on?
Married at First Sight. I think
choose
I
that
would
one.
choose Love Is Blind.
Okay.
But Married at First Sight
Is there lesbians on there?
There's experts. Yeah, they would hook you up with that. Yeah,
Or
because-
either one. I could be
because
the
it
first
wouldn't
one.
Work if they.
I want to
if
be the
you-
first lesbian
Oh,
on either
wait,
one.
let's do the
So
one.
then I'll be
No, there
famous.
hasn't been a lesbian on
Either
either
one?
one
Hey,
of them.
let's do
I
the
think.
opposites.
Which
Let's-
one's more
let's do the
popular?
opposites. Hold on. Let's do Love Is Blind or that the show that's on HBO where you have to meet them naked first before they even say
Okay,
a
okay,
word.
yeah. Okay, so would you
What?
rather?
So it's-
no,
it's
here you go.
polar
I can do
opposite.
it. Would you rather get to meet someone and only talk to them, and you have to? And you can talk to a bunch of people. You don't see them.
Oh, but you can
and
only talk to them?
And you're
Ooh.
You're gonna marry somebody based on the conversation
Only.
or would you rather have to pick someone that you marry based on how they look, and you don't even get to say a word to them?
Can I smell them?
That's a good one. No questions.
That's my thing.
You see them.
Then I'm gonna,
Yeah.
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna
assume,
choose
and-
see them.
We're gonna assume
If you
in
can see
both,
them, you can
and-
smell 'em.
and we're gonna assume
I
that
can't because if
No,
they
no, no.
stink, I don't care what you look like or what you say to me.
Let me finish. We're gonna assume in both scenarios that they smell fine, Brooke. Okay. You can, if you're sitting in the room with the wall, you can smell them.
Okay,
if
then
you're
talking.
looking at them, you can smell. Yeah. I think I'd go with looks.
Me too.
I just think that's a
Because I mean I'd rather break
Man
up.
and
I would
woman
rather
answer completely.
I would rather break up with someone because of their behavior opposed to because I'm not attracted to them anymore.
But you know they're a good person. They fit
That would
with
be
what you're
awful.
wanting.
I know,
Yeah,
but then they
right.
get old and wrinkly and their bodies turn gross anyways later.
but that's
So
like
they
down
better
the
have a
road.
decent conversation over morning coffee is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I will say that it is a risk choosing looks, but I also feel like surely no. I mean, someone
Looks
has a person.
fade.
Someone has a personality. Their personality is like.
I know that
mean,
shit.
It was interesting
If it's bad, it's not good.
I know, because then there's clothes. Most of the time you see them with clothes on, and so you're mostly just listening to them talk.
But the show that I watched where they did pick them based on their naked body, it was interesting because they actually, a lot of them actually really got along really well. And it was just interesting because like
It was like a theory type thing.
well, it's like they ended up finding the personality through the body, but it just happened to work.
I've
Like
never seen
because
that.
this girl picks
I don't know.
she picked this
My
kind of
brain
like
just went
butt.
really
He was muscular, he was bigger, and she was into that. And then but his personality kind of reflected that as well.
Yeah.
And for their personalities,
that
it
makes
worked.
sense. That makes sense. You can totally like a juice head or a meat head.
Yeah.
Like
Or you
you're
get some
gonna-
like frumpy.
I feel like
Yeah.
bodies
frumpy woman.
too
Like, I don't
kind of
want a
match.
frumpy woman.
Like you would look at my body and be like, "That's a dad."
How many kids
That's
you got,
a dad.
sir?
That's for sure a dad. He doesn't have
He
time
plays
to exercise.
Spider-Man with this son.
That was a good way to take that one there.
Hey,
Casey.
are you guys proud?
Thanks.
That you
Sort of.
picked one?
Yeah.
You forced a condition on it.
Yeah.
No, I just had to make sure.
You forced a condition on
No,
it.
screw that, because that really freaking matters that much.
But the smell. We're gonna say.
I'll say you made progress.
Well, yeah, you made progress because in this game,
I made a
smell
decision.
is irrelevant. Like
Nope.
we're gonna assume that it's fine in either case because.
But like I said, if you stink, like I don't
Okay,
care
well,
what you look like or
I know-
what you say.
I know, but I understand that. But the game was that you there's a wall and you don't see them. You're only talking to them, or you can see them, you can't talk, and you can't even smell them at all. Like you don't get to have any other things. You just have to choose. If you had to pick someone to marry, which one would you do?
Yeah.
Regardless of any other circumstances, you only get to base it on conversation. And I still think you would choose conversation because you could ask,
Yeah,
"How do
I
you
was like,
smell?"
I still chose.
Just ask them, like,
Would you-
hey, so how do you normally?
you
how's, your,
stink?
how's your hygiene? What do you like? Or
Oh, I would totally. That's my first question.
Yeah, right. Just be like, and you could even be more subtle with it and say, "So, what's your morning routine?" You know,
And what do your teeth look like?
What is your
Wait, so you
evening
don't
routine?
shower?
Did you ever have braces? Yeah, that's a great way to ask
Curtis,
that.
I have a would you rather for you. Would you rather play Would You
That's
Rather
not
with
how
me
I'd
or
probably
with
ask
Brooke?
it.
Oh, with you.
Thank you. I set her up on that one.
We would only ask 3 questions and it would last hours because
Yeah.
Curtis would be trying to explain like why you have to decide.
Well, he wouldn't have to if you wouldn't be.
I know. I wouldn't be. I would be like just arguing. Like,
and I'd be
just
like,
pick one.
but Curtis.
I just can't go on with my day until you pick something.
Yeah. Golly. All right, guys. As we
Bye.
come to an end, I just want to say thanks for listening. And if you like our podcast and our content, give us a like, subscribe, click the bell for those lovely notifications for future topics. And please feel free to answer our Would You Rathers. Feel free to make fun of Brooke because she can't commit. And also
committed
feel
today.
free to, how much you like me and Curtis over Brooke because we can answer questions concisely. Anyways, thanks. Bye.